our bodies, but then we neglect to really focus on strengthening our back bodies. So we will be working on some of that this evening. So as you're ready, we're going to go ahead and come down onto our mats. We're going to lay down, but have our knees up towards the sky. And I'm going to move my blanket out of the way for right now. So somebody is not muted if you want to mute. And then once you get to this seat, once you get back, or excuse me, laying down, go ahead and let those knees fall in towards one another. You may even shimmy the feet out just a little bit wider so the knees comfortably fall inside. And then we're just going to lay here for a minute, just checking in with our physical bodies, seeing how we're feeling today. So just note places within your physical body that feel nice and open and at ease. Maybe there's a tense spot or two, that's okay. And allow your shoulders just to roll down with the mat, take your weight. You can start to come into your breath. So just noticing the depth and the quality of the breath. Notice where the breath shows up. Is it coming from the belly, down by your belly button? Is it up in your rib cage? Just noting where the breath could get a little bit bigger. Give yourself 3 more nice, big, deep breaths. Notice how the body's starting to relax just a little bit more. And after you take that last exhale, and take a fresh breath and reach these arms up over your head. But you're going to let them relax. So the elbows are naturally going to bend. The shoulders come back down to the mat. You're just noticing how the heart opens. And if it's too much on the low back, go ahead and send the knees back towards the sky. Give yourself just a little bit of space in between the legs. Deep breath. You can bring your knees into your chest, or if it's more comfortable in your body, let the knees fall outside of the ribs. And then you can just point and flex the feet, circle the ankles. And stay with that deep breath. One more. Then send some engagement into those arms as you stretch them long, point those fingertips away. This will be our inhale with the knees in towards the chest and the hands up over the head. So take a deep breath. And as you exhale, let those hands come down next to the hips, face down, the feet come to the mat. Exhale fully. So here, what I want you to notice is we're going to have the feet. My feet are a little bit further than my knees forward. So the knees are not stacked over the ankles here. The feet are a little bit forward. So as you take your next inhale, press into your feet, lift the pelvis.
Okay, lay down.
And then exhale, slowly lower back down to the mat, releasing fully on the exhale. You'll take a fresh inhale, reach the arms up over the head, bring the knees back into the chest. And then exhale, palms and feet come back down to the mat. Remember, those feet are a little forward. Inhale, lift the pelvis. And exhale, lower back down. And do that 2 more times, your breath. Inhale, lifting knees and arms. And exhale, lowering back down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Last round. Exhale the breath fully. Bring those knees back up towards the chest. This time, those hands can come right below the kneecaps. You can squeeze the knees in towards the chest. And again, if it feels better to have the knees outside of the ribs, do that. All right. We're going to roll over to one side or the other. And then just use your palm pressing into the floor to lift yourself up. We're going to move from that laying down position. We're going to move over into table. We won't stay here too long, but that pillow will help under the knees or a blanket, whatever you've got. So once you come into this table, go ahead and spread your knees towards the outside edges of your mat. And really reach the spine long. So reach the crown away. Take an inhale here. And then exhale to send the hips back towards the heels. Stretch the arms long. Fully release the upper body in between the legs as you come into this wide leg child's pose. So you'll be feeling this throughout the back, down to the hips. You can give yourself one more breath. After you exhale fully, take a fresh breath, and we'll come back to table. We're going to reset those knees under the hips. So we'll move through a few rounds of cat-cow here. We'll take an inhale to lift the crown and the tailbone up towards the sky, stretching through the front body. And then exhale to round crown and tailbone in. And really let those shoulder blades come apart. Inhale, moving back up with the crown and the tailbone. And exhale, rounding in. And give yourself 3 more. After you round that last time, you can come back to that neutral spine. We're going to curl toes, take a fresh breath. And as you exhale, lift the hips. If you've got that pillow or that blanket in the middle of the mat, you can move it out of the way. And we'll just spend a few breaths here, moving through in this down dog, pedaling through the feet. Keeping the hips up towards the sky.
Connecting breath to movement here as you press each heel down towards the back of the mat, one at a time, individually from the other leg. And give yourself 2 more breaths. Let's take a slow walk. We'll come to the top of our mats and we'll meet in a forward fold. And there's a big bend in the knees, so much that the torso is rolling over your thighs. The head hangs heavy. We'll take an inhale halfway, finding a long spine, crown reaches away. And then exhale to release to the floor. Soft knees here, fresh breath. And then exhale, slowly rise in a way that serves your body, honors your low back. And we'll come to stand. Once we come to that standing position, reach the crown towards the sky, find both feet connected to the mat. Keep those knees just a little soft. We'll take an inhale, reach the arms and the gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, slowly, 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 forward fold. Release the breath fully. Go ahead and step your feet back. We're going to move into down dog. And so we'll spend about 4 breaths here. Feel free to pedal through the feet some more or just come to stillness, staying connected to the breath either way. So go ahead and bend your knees super deep. Come onto the balls of both feet. Take a fresh breath. And then as you exhale, press into your feet so you can ripple your body into a plank. We'll find that link through the spine here, booty down. Get those knees down on the mat if you need to. And then we'll take an inhale. And then exhale, slowly come all the way down to the mat. Once you get there, let those tops of the feet come to the mat. You're going to bring your arms out into a T on either side. As you take an inhale, press your belly into the mat, the pelvis into the mat, and lift your arms and legs through the crown of the head for Superwoman. And then exhale to lower. See if you can do that 4 more times. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale to release. After your last one, bend those elbows, bring the palms under your shoulders. Press into the hands, take a fresh breath. And as you exhale, send the hips back towards the heels. We're going back into child's pose, but you can always go into wide leg child's pose if that works better in your body. You can even shimmy the hips here just a bit. One more breath. Take an inhale, we'll come into table. Curl your toes, lift your hips, down dog. One more breath. So you're going to take an inhale, lift this left leg up towards the sky, point those toes, feel that stretch through the back of the right leg. And then you can start to bend that knee up towards your nose and step that left foot through. So this right foot, you're gonna move it over a little bit more to the right, just so you feel stable. And then we'll take an inhale, pressing into that left foot. We're gonna make our way into crescent. So we're not worried about arms or anything. We're just doing the legs today. So once you find that lunge, you're just gonna send the right heel back. Feel that stretch through the groin on the right side. And just hold it here, 2 more breaths. Inhale the arms up over the head. And then exhale to bring the palms down to the mat. And we'll step back into down dog. So you could also do this from kneeling on the back leg, if that makes it more comfortable to get into the posture. We'll take an inhale, point those toes, right toes up towards the sky. And then bend that knee, bring it close to the nose, step it through. Widen your stance with that left leg just so you feel nice and stable. And then you can press into that right foot and bring yourself up into crescent. So give yourself a couple of breaths here just to settle in, find your balance, your stability. Last breath. Inhale, lift the arms up over the head. And then exhale, fold forward. Palms come on either side of that right foot. You can step it back and find down dog. All right, big bend in those knees, back on the balls of the feet. And then slowly let your body ripple back into that plank. And once you get there, find that long spine, lower the knees if you need to. Take an inhale. And then exhale, slowly lower down all the way back to the mat. Tops of the feet come to the mat. This time, keep those palms right under the shoulders. We'll take an inhale, press the belly into the floor and lift through the crown of the head. So see if you can release through the glutes here. And then we're lifting from the low back. So if you feel like you're pressing a lot of weight into your hands, come back down and then try to lift back up so that you're using your low back strength and your arms could just not even be touching the mat. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale to lower down, press those hands into the mat, and we're going to make our way back into table. And once you get into your table, you can curl your toes, lift your hips, go back into your down dog. One more breath. We're going back up to the top of the mat. We'll meet there in a forward fold. Use the bend in the knees to protect the low back. We'll take an inhale, halfway, long spine, crown reaches away. And then exhale to release towards the floor. Fresh breath down low. And then exhale, slow rise, honoring your back body as you come to stand. Settling the feet into the mat, softness through the knees. We'll take a fresh inhale, reach the arms up over the head. And then exhale, bring the hands in front of the heart, bow chin to chest. And give yourself 2 breaths here.
Take a fresh breath. And then exhale to bring your gaze back towards me. Okay, so we're going to step this right foot back, but we're not going to step it as long as we did last time. So when we were in that crescent, that leg was really back there. So maybe shorten your stance just a bit. So once you get into that similar shape, but not with so long of a leg, you're going to bend that right leg. So you're going to bend that knee. And then what's going to happen is you're going to feel the bottom part, the hamstring, the back of your left thigh fire up. So from here, press into that left foot, send that hip back just a little bit and feel even more of an engagement. So we're just strengthening your back body here. We're not doing anything with the hands. We're just working on the low body right now. If you don't feel it, just bend that right knee a little bit more. And give it one more breath. Beautiful. Start to bring your body weight over that left leg and use energy into the ball of that right foot. Let's come back to the top of the mat. Take an inhale, lift the arms and the gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale to forward fold. So here's 3 breaths. You can shimmy side to side. And just notice the difference between one side of your body and the other. It's our last breath right here. So we'll come back to stillness. And then we'll inhale halfway along spine. Exhale to release towards the floor. Inhale down low. And then exhale, slow rise, honoring your body. You reach through the crown of the head, fresh inhale, reaching the arms up over the head. And then exhale, palms come down in front of the heart, bowing chin to chest. 2 more breaths right here. Inhale. And then exhale to lift the nose so the gaze goes forward. And then we'll step this left leg back. We'll do the same thing on this side. So find that length that feels okay. Find your balance. Hands at the heart help. And then you're going to bend into that left knee. Just bend it down towards the mat. So then press into this right foot. So this right hip comes back just a little bit. You're going to feel the bottom of that right leg fire up. So the knee is further back towards your body than your ankle. Long spine, just breathing through it. Last one. Inhale. And then exhale to bring your body weight over that right leg, energy into the ball of that left foot. We'll come back to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift the arms and the gaze up towards the sky. And then exhale, forward fold. Just checking in with the low body here. All right, while you're in this forward fold, go ahead and bend your knees a lot. You can keep the torso on top of them. So you're basically putting your lower body into the same position that we would use for chair. Hands are still on the floor, close to it. You're going to take an inhale, use your body strength to lift through the upper body and make your way into your chair. So once you make it your way into your chair, you're going to feel that tailbone is really curling back. See if you can tuck it in just a little bit, change the dynamic of the stretch and the strength. So your core muscle will fire up here. And release through the jaw.
Inhale. And then we'll just exhale to forward fold. Let the head, neck, and shoulders hang heavy. One more breath. All right. Bend those knees again. We've got one more round of that chair. So just setting up the lower body. Take an inhale, lifting through the upper body, finding that length coming into chair and curling that tailbone in if it feels okay. Last breath. Inhale. Exhale to bring the hands to the mat. We'll go ahead and step those feet back. Find a down dog. And a nice big deep inhale and exhale through the nose could feel really good right here. Just taking a deep cleansing breath. So we'll bend those knees and press into the balls of the feet, rippling back into that plank. Finding that length through the spine, lowering the knees if you need to. So when we move through this next lowering down, you can either move through to cobra like we did last round, or you can take an inhale and then exhale, come through your chaturanga, move into your up dog. And in this up dog, let the hips really release as you keep that strength through the upper body, through the arms. Wherever you are, let those knees come to the mat, and we'll send those hips back, letting the torso roll over the thighs, releasing the low back in child's pose. Give yourself 2 more breaths. Take an inhale. We're going to move back into table. We'll curl toes and lift hips, find our way into down dog. And then you're going to walk your hands and feet to the center of your mat. We'll meet there in a forward fold. We'll take an inhale, halfway, long spine. And then exhale to release towards the floor. Inhale, down low. And then exhale, slow rise, coming up in a way that serves. As you come to stand, soften through the knees, lengthen the spine. Inhale to lift the arms up over the head. And then exhale to bring the hands in front of the heart, bowing chin to chest. Take a breath. So we'll leave these hands at the heart. You can rock back and forth on your feet, just starting to feel really grounded into the mat. Make sure that you've got the knees are not locked. We're gonna take an inhale and move our body weight over to the left side of our body. So once you get there, press into that foot and lift through the crown of the head. Really find some length there. That left outer hip is already starting to engage. When you're ready, we're just going to lift this right knee up towards the chest. Keep the right foot flexed. If this feels a little easy or gentle for you and you want a little bit more, you can raise the hands up over the head. Keep the length through the spine. Shoulder blades are coming together behind you. One more breath. Bring the hands back in front of the heart as this right leg lowers to the mat. We'll immediately just switch the weight over to the right side. So check all of those things. Foot into the mat, rippling through the spine, nice and long.
Inhale. You can lift this left knee, keep that left foot flexed. The glutes and the pelvis, everything's engaged here. You can lift through the hands if it feels okay. So you're using all of that strength in the center of your body to hold this posture. Inhale to lower the hands and the foot. Give yourself a breath. And sigh it out the mouth if that would feel good. Inhale, lifting the arms and the gaze up. And then exhale to forward fold. And we'll walk hands forward, feet back. It's our last down dog. So we'll spend 3 breaths here. Last one. All right, from here, just bend the knees, come into your table. And then you can use your feet, just swing them over to one side so you can come back onto your booty. And this is that spot where the blanket or a small pillow would be good. I have, it's a little bit thicker than a beach towel, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it in thirds. So I just folded to the center 2 times, and that's about my thickness. And then I'm just gonna put it on my mat. I may decide that this is too much and then I'll have to come back up. But all you're gonna do is you're gonna have that blanket or small pillow pretty close to the triangle of your low back, the sacrum muscle. And then slowly just let yourself roll down onto the blanket or the pillow. Let your shoulders relax down on the mat. So what should be happening right now is that your chest and everything just really naturally opens here with this blanket underneath. If it's too much for your low back, find a block or another blanket or pillow to put just to elevate through your hips just a bit. So we're going to actually let our breath return to normal here. If you want those knees falling in towards one another again, feel free. Just notice the expansion of the ribs and everything as you take the inhale. And allow yourself full deep exhales here. Give yourself 2 more breaths. And letting each one go completely. So to come out of this safely, let those knees fall over to one side, roll onto the other side. That's why I cued us that way at the beginning of class. And then just use a hand to press yourself back up. Once you get there, you can move that blanket or pillow out of the way and then just roll back down onto your back. You're gonna have those palms down next to the hips and then return those feet where they're a little bit forward of the knees. So at the beginning of class, we lifted up a breath and then lowered for a breath. This time we're just gonna lift 1 time, but we're gonna hold it 5 breaths. That doesn't mean hold your breath for 5 breaths though. Make sure you breathe. And if it's too much to have the feet forward, stack them under the knees. All right, here we go. Nice big inhale.
And then exhale to press into the feet, lifting the pelvis, the chin comes up, or chin goes towards the chest. Breathing in and out. Release the jaw. Last one. Inhale deep. And then exhale to slowly let the whole back body make its way down to the mat. So here are 6 or 7 breaths. Maybe the knees come into the chest. Maybe you put peace fingers around big toes and take a happy baby. These few breaths are for whatever I didn't offer that would feel really good in your body. Last 2 right here. So as we make our way into whatever Shavasana will look like for us today, you have your choice. It may be that doing legs up the wall would feel really good. If you were even at the foot of your bed and swung your legs up so that the legs could just kind of fall onto the bed, that would be an assistance for the heart, but also release just a little bit through those hips. So just in case, I know that I showed you, I'm going to show you how to get into that legs up the wall. So I'm going to bring my right hip to the wall. And I'm going to roll down onto my elbows as I kick my feet up. And then I'm just going to spin. So if you'd like to do legs up the wall, feel free. If not, wherever you are, just give yourself a nice big deep breath. And then as you exhale, rest for a few moments.
can slowly start to bring some awareness back into this space that we have created together. You can bring some awareness into your fingers and toes, into your wrists and your ankles. Reach your arms up over your head. Give yourself a full body stretch. And if you're still with your legs up the wall, you can come down. And you can roll onto one side or the other, just like we've done a couple of times throughout the class. Bring yourself into a comfortable seat. And so we're going to spend just a moment writing here, probably 4 minutes or so writing. It turns into a haiku, beautiful. If not, that's fine too. But your prompt for this evening is what makes you feel strong? And that could be physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever that is. Just the question is, what makes you feel strong? And so the front of this card says, believe. And I'm going to open it. And it says, without faith, nothing is possible. With it, nothing is impossible. It's by Mary McLeod Bethune. Without faith, nothing is possible. With it, nothing is impossible. So as we close our time together here tonight, I just want to tell you gratitude for practicing with me, and may you know kindness, and may you be kind. Namaste.